Hello friends, welcome to MALUKA IAS. Today we would be discussing upon a very simple and an important question, an important topic of art and culture, that is Indian puppetry. Comparatively a very simple and an important one too. और यहाँ से फ्रेंड्स क्वेश्चन भी सिंपल आएगा, जैसे पहले भी हमने मार्शल आर्ट्स में कर रहे थे। द क्वेश्चन यहाँ से बिल्कुल स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन घुमाएंगे नहीं, वेरी सिंपल टॉपिक है, कहाँ की पपेट्री है, कैसे थोड़ा पता होता है, डिज़ाइन थोड़ा सा पता होना चाहिए, string hair, rod, etc. That has to be known. Rest is very simple. Puppetry, it is one of the ancient forms of entertainment that has been there. It gives basically the suggestive elements of the puppet being controlled basically by the master. किस तरीके से हम उसको एक्सप्रेस करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. That will be a captivating experience, while the low cost of animation and production आर मेकिंग इट पॉपुलर ऑल्सो. जिस तरीके से आप एनिमेशन से कुछ ना मूव होता है, उसको एक ट्रेडिशनल फॉर्म में, एंशियंट फॉर्म एंटरटेनमेंट में आप देखने को मिलता है. इंडियन पपेट्री, व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट इट, हैज लॉन्ग बीन द इंटरेस्ट इन इंडिया पपेट्री. It was used basically for education and entertainment purposes also. And the excavations can be seen even from the times of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro also. Not only this, but the oldest reference, written reference when you talk about it, puppetry is being found at Tamil classic text, that is Shilpadikaram. Therefore, it is one of the traditional forms of entertainment, forms of education that is prevalent in India. तो ये भी आपको क्वेश्चन बनता है कि हरप्पा मोहनजोदारो और साउथ इंडिया में शिल्पादिकरम में इसके बारे में मेंशन किया गया कि नहीं किया. डेफिनेटली इट हैज बीन मेंशन. When you talk about categories of puppetry, it is basically the string puppet that is there. Example है, तो ये क्वेश्चन बनता है, which of these are string puppet and other puppets. String puppets कौन सा है? कठपुतली हो गया, कुंदई हो गया, गम्बेत्ता हो गया, बम्बलत्तम हो गया. They are string puppets. Shadow puppet होता है थोलू, बम्बलत्तम, रावण छाया, तोगालू, गम्बेत्ता. These are basically shadow puppets. Glow puppetry या glow puppet basically Pavakothu. And rod puppet is basically Yampuri या पतुल नाच. दिस बेसिकली ये क्वेश्चन यहीं से बनता है. दूसरा क्वेश्चन एक ऊपर हमने पहले किया, दूसरा यहाँ से कि विच ऑफ दिस फॉर एग्जांपल आपको पूछा जा सकता है कि करेक्टली और इनकरेक्टली मैच्ड है. कठपुतली जो स्ट्रिंग पपेट आपको बोल सकते हैं कि ये रॉड पपेट है, तो ऐसे करके आ सकता है. नाउ फर्स्ट इज स्ट्रिंग पपेट्स विच आर देयर. बहुत बार आपने ऐसा देखी होगी ये चीज़ ऐसे करके. Puppets are basically chiseled out of wood and are of approximately 9-inch miniature, 9 इंच तक के होते हैं. The oil colors is used to paint the wood, to skin color and paint features. For example, देखिए कि oil colors used हैं और eyes, nose, etc. they are basically being painted. ये देख रहे हैं आप. The strings are basically attached to small holes in the hands, head and back of the body. जो पपेट्रियर जो चला रहा हो वो कंट्रोल करता है मूवमेंट की किस तरीके से एक्सप्रेशन है. मिनिएचर ज्वेलरी इज अटैच्ड टू दीज पपेट्स बेसिकली टू गिव द रियलिस्टिक फीलिंग. एग्जाम्पल्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल कठपुतली. Kathputli is a traditional string puppetry of Rajasthan region, which means a wooden doll. Puppets are basically Rajasthani dress में cover किए होते हैं and accompanied by a dramatic folk music. The unique feature is the absence of the legs, very very important points. And therefore the strings are basically attached to the fingers of the puppetries. Absence of the legs would be there. Kundai, basically string puppet है Odisha का, very important, आ चुका already. These are made of light wood and therefore dressed in short skirts. These puppets have more joints. अगर ज़्यादा joints है, therefore more flexibility will be given to the puppeteer. The strings are basically attached in a triangular prop. Next is Gombeatta. Gombayatha is a form of traditional theatre of Karnataka. The influence of Yakshagana theatre of Karnataka is basically being seen in it. And therefore, presence of more than one puppeteer, जैसे देख रहे हैं, more than one puppeteer is there basically to manipulate each puppet. Next is Bam, Bamalattam, indigenous art form of Tamil Nadu. In it, basically, an iron ring is attached to the string of these puppets, and the ring is worn by the puppeteer to his head, and then the movement will be done. They are the largest and the heaviest of the marontines that are there in India. And these are as tall as 5 feet in height and कभी कभी 10 kg of weight के भी होते हैं. Next is shadow puppets. These are basically the flat figures cut off leather. The figures are basically painted on both the sides of the leather. The puppets which are there, they are basically placed on the white screen with the light falling from behind basically to create a shadow effect on the screen. पीछे से लाइट आ रही होगी जिससे एक शेडो का इफेक्ट देखने को मिलता है, जिसकी वजह से शेडो पपेट्री इनको बोला जाता है. The figures are basically manipulated such that a velocity created on the blank screen create basically the telling imagery. Examples, for example, Togalu Gombayatha of Karnataka region. The size of the puppet changes with the social character कि कौन सा character उसी हिसाब से size होगा. Hence the kings are shown at a higher size than the commoners. Ravan Chaya, basically entertainment in Odisha, popular form. The theatre use puppets with no joints नहीं होते puppets में, and therefore requires a great amount of the skills for their operation. The use of the non-human puppets is also being made over here. देखिए आप छाया shadow पड़ रही है. Tholu Bombayata, basically shadow puppetry theatre of Andhra Pradesh. The show is basically accompanied by classical music that is being shown from example from the Puranas. The puppets are large in size and they are covered on both the sides. Next is glow puppets that are there. The puppets are worn on the hands of the puppeteer like a glove. हाथ में gloves की तरह डाले होते हैं और उस तरीके से वो manipulate करते हैं. They manipulate the puppet using the index finger and the thumb कि क्या कहने की बात कर रहे हैं. Pavakuttu is a traditional shadow puppet puppet show of Kerala, and the influence of Kathakali dance is evident on this theatre. Next is rod puppets. The variation of the hand puppets are popular in the eastern India. Examples are Yampuri. They are basically the traditional rod puppets which are there from the region of Bihar, made of wood and also without the joints. They are carved out of wood and painted and dressed in bright colors. यहाँ से देखिए, bright colors are being used. Putul Nach, traditional form that is there in Bengal, Odisha and Assam region. The puppeteer who would be there, the person who would be playing it, controls the puppet using a rod attached to the waist. One is Indian circus. The first Indian circus was basically there in 1880s that has been present. The Great Indian Circus of 1880 was basically founded by Vishnu Pant Chhatre under the patronage of Raja of Kurduvadi. Though he has toured the country as well as the foreign shows also Sri Lanka and other places, but his tour of North America was a failure as he could not match with his competitions and others. Chhatre met Kareli Kuniharan during his Malabar tour. Nikreli was a martial art and a gymnastic teacher. And on Chhatre's insistence, he opened his own gymnast and acrobat training, basically academy and then a circus also. And therefore they are making great contribution. And today Kerala is basically known as the cradle of Indian circus. and Kerli Kuniham is the father of the Indian circus that has basically been known. Friends, these are basically various important things that you need to remember for Indian puppetry. Simple question, एक straightforward question आएगा, you do not need to worry at all. यहाँ से आपका easily solve हो जाएगा. So learn it comprehensively. Thank you very much.